The cavern hummed, a low glacial hum. Alex, a being of semi-translucent gum, chewed slowly. Lichen, his only sustenance in this frozen wasteland. He yearned for something more, a burst of color, a hint of warmth, anything to break the monotonous white. A crackle, static.
Joe, where are you?
A voice, thin and reedy, pierced the silence. Alex? It was Bone Joe, his voice echoing strangely as if traveling through miles of frozen tears. Alex, you there?
Joe, where are you?
Sochi, Bone Joe rasped, the name crackling with static. It's different. We need you. Sochi. The word sent a shiver through Alex's gelatinous form. He'd heard whispers, legends of a city pulsing with a chaotic energy unseen in the icy wastelands. A place of vibrant chaos, where the very air tasted of rebellion. Bone Joe, his oldest friend, was there. His voice, usually a booming baritone, was a strained whisper. Something was wrong. Alex felt a tug, a sense of urgency he hadn't felt in, well, ever. He had to get to Sochi, but how? The journey was perilous. Thousands of miles of frozen tundra, stalked by creatures of ice and shadow. And Alex, he was Alex. A being of chewing gum wasn't exactly known for its survival skills. His escape from the cavern was a study in clumsy desperation. His semi-solid form didn't lend itself to agility. He slipped, slid, and bounced off ice walls, his progress marked by a trail of discarded lichen. Finally, he spotted a fissure, a crack in the icy prison that had held him captive for far too long. He squeezed through, his form stretching and contorting, the icy air biting at his translucent skin. He emerged into a blinding white expanse. The tundra stretched before him, a canvas of white and grey under a sky the colour of old bruises. The wind howled, a mournful sound that sent shivers down his non-existent spine. He was free. The journey was a blur of icy wind, teeth-chattering cold, and strange encounters. He met a family of sentient snowballs who spoke in squeaks and whistles. He shared a meal of frozen tears with the creature that resembled a giant, melancholic dust bunny. He learned to navigate by the stars, their faint light barely penetrating the perpetual twilight of the tundra. He learned to avoid the shadows that stretched and twisted in the faint light, whispering secrets in a language he couldn't understand. And through it all, the name Sochi echoed in his mind, a beacon in the frozen wasteland.
The closer I got to Sochi, the stranger the world became. It was as if I was stepping into a dream, a place where reality and fantasy blurred together. The endless white of the tundra gave way to splashes of color, jarring and surreal. It was like watching a painter's brush come to life, each stroke adding a new layer of vibrancy to the world. The air, no longer frigid and still, thrummed with a strange energy, a palpable buzz that set my teeth on edge. It was as if the very atmosphere was alive, whispering secrets and stories of a place beyond imagination.
He encountered creatures unlike any he'd seen before. They moved with an eerie grace, their forms shifting and changing with every glance. Giant, sentient pretzels with a taste for philosophy. They debated the meaning of existence with a seriousness that was both comical and profound. Flying teacups that sang opera in voices that could shatter glass. Their melodies filled the air, creating a symphony of chaos and beauty. The world was tilting on its axis. And Alex, he was along for the ride. Every step he took felt like a journey deeper into the unknown.
And then I saw it. a sight so extraordinary it took my breath away. On the horizon, a riot of color against the monochrome backdrop of the tundra. It was a beacon of life and energy in an otherwise desolate landscape, a city that seemed to pulse and breathe, a living, breathing testament to chaos and absurdity. Sochi, a place where the impossible became possible, and the ordinary was left far behind.
Sochi was everything he'd imagined and more, a cacophony of sound and color, a city that defied logic and reason, buildings twisted and turned, defying gravity with a whimsical disregard for the laws of physics. The streets teemed with creatures of every imaginable shape and size, a bizarre carnival of the absurd. He saw a giant, sentient rubber duck leading a philosophical debate with a group of animated garden gnomes. He saw a street performer juggling eyeballs, his audience a collection of dancing coat racks. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and more than a little terrifying. But amidst the chaos, he felt a strange sense of belonging, a feeling he hadn't realized he'd been missing. He found Bone Joe in an alley, his form flickering weakly, his once robust frame now a mere shadow of its former self. His usual vibrant color faded to a pale shadow, a ghostly figure barely recognizable.
They're doing this, the flavorless. They're behind all of it. They're draining everything, turning it gray, stripping away the essence of life itself.
The flavorless. Alex had heard whispers, rumors of their existence. Beings devoid of color, taste, or any semblance of individuality. They were like shadows, blending into the background. They sought to impose their bland uniformity on everything, draining the world of its vibrancy, its very essence. And they were winning, slowly but surely. Alex could see it in the faded colors of the buildings, the once bright and lively structures now dull and lifeless. The muted tones of the creatures he passed, their once vibrant hues now reduced to shades of grey. Sochi, once a beacon of chaotic beauty, was slowly turning grey, its spirit being drained away.
We have to stop them. We can't let them win.
A new resolve hardened his gelatinous form. He felt a surge of determination. He didn't know how, but he knew he had to try. He had to find a way to bring back the color, the life, the essence of their world. The rebellion, when it came, was born in the sewers. A ragtag group of misfits, the forgotten and discarded of Sochi, united against a common enemy. Led by Alex, his form pulsing with a newfound strength, they fought back against the flavorless. The sewers became their battleground, a labyrinth of pipes and tunnels transformed into a kaleidoscope of color and light. Alex, his chewing gum form adapting and evolving, became a beacon of hope, his very being a testament to the power of individuality. He discovered a power he never knew he possessed. He could absorb the color and energy around him, transforming himself into a weapon against the encroaching grayness. The battle raged, a chaotic symphony of light and sound, as if the very fabric of reality was being torn apart by the sheer intensity of the conflict. In the end, it was Alex, his form a swirling vortex of color and energy, who faced the leader of the flavorless. His vibrant hues clashed against the dullness of his opponent. A being of pure, unadulterated blandness, devoid of any color or life, stood before him. Their fight was a clash of ideologies, a battle for the very soul of Sochi. The air crackled with tension as their energies collided, and in the end, it was Alex, the once timid chewing gum creature, who prevailed. His colors shone brighter than ever, a testament to his victory. He banished the flavorless, their grayness receding from Sochi like a bad dream. the city began to transform, its colors returning in a vibrant wave. The city erupted in a cacophony of celebration, its colors returning in a vibrant wave. People danced in the streets, their joy palpable. Alex, exhausted but triumphant, found himself drawn back to the sewers. The place where his journey had begun. The place where it all began. The dark, damp tunnels that had once been his home now felt like a sanctuary. The place where he'd found his purpose, his paradise. In the quiet of the sewers, Alex found peace, knowing he had saved Sochi.